Welcome everyone to this session. Welcome to Mautic on day two. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from everywhere. We are glad to be here finally. Okay, so today we'll be having one of the amazing people you want to discuss with regards to open source and, by the person Pulkit Singh. He will be taking us on a journey, on a discourse around open source for everyone. What an interesting topic in this day and age. And I will advise everyone to sit tight and we have listened to the amazing person with intelligence and content. He is the founder of uh, Programmers Universal Group and also a speaker of our speaker within the community. So I will be bringing Pulkit up. Hello, Pulkit.
Yeah, hi. Hey,
Yeah,
folks.
yeah. I hope you're fine.
Yeah, great going. What about
Yeah,
you?
we're so excited to have you here. So, without much ado, I will employ you to share your screen and serve us with what you have for us today. Welcome.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I have started my screen share once. Can you please check it once?
Yeah. So your screen, we're yet to see your screen. Okay. So I'll just
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
guess it's now visible to all. Yeah.
okay. Sure.
Yeah, great.
So I will be
So,
off, but I'll be here. I'll be listening. If you need anything, just
yeah,
okay.
sure, sure.
All
Mhm.
right. Thanks.
Yeah, great. So first of all, welcome everyone to Mautic Global Conference 2021. And this is my session on open source for everyone. So after this session, you all can like share your experience and other stuffs on my Twitter handle, that is Pulkit Singh Dev, and even all my social handles are Pulkit Singh Dev only. So I'm a 13 years old self-taught programmer who is a passionate contributor towards communities, open source, and hackathons. So I don't guess I need to give my more intro since when Chuck's gave intro about me. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, it's like when you talk about open source, right? So open source is something that where a platform where you can say software's original source code is made freely available for everyone, so that someone can even reuse it or maybe you can say contribute in it, so that the you can say the software can grow and even get some more features through other developers as well. So when we talk about open source, it's not like only for you can say developers, programmers, or you can say majorly who are in tech field, but it's not like that. So let me take you all here. So you can see programmers have more control over that kind of software and can examine the code to make sure it's not doing anything you don't want it to do and even fix the bugs, right? But what about others? So like you can make your projects, blogs, etc., and make them open source and let others to contribute in it as well, right? So it's like you can write blog, you can create your own projects, declare your anything that you want to, and it's like open source is not only thing regarding software and these things. You can even have some projects regarding you can say even you can say some art pieces or you can say even some documentation on any field like you can say we have art field and many others, right? And after that, the main advantage of open source is you can say it has a large community of like-minded people who can inspire you, and you can even get some essential support and help, right? So it's like you will get to collaborate there with some of the awesome people on your project or someone else project as well. And yeah, there are many more stuffs too. So today we will be discussing about, you can say, Git and GitHub, that provides us with a open source platform. So I will be telling you about Git and GitHub through Git, like comparing them both here. So first of all, we can say Git as a version control system, which helps you to control the version of the project or any stuff you are currently working on, making it open source, right? So it can be used with various tools or locally on your computer to help you keep track of changes in your code projects as well. And like, you can think of Google Docs for code but better. And it's like, if you want to get started with command line interface and etc etc, so I would preferably recommend to get started with open source, that is Git and GitHub. Since if you get started with Git, it has been provided by Linux, so it will give you a great knowledge about CLI as well. And GitHub is a platform for code collaboration, and GitHub uses Git for version control and provides you all these sort of awesome collaboration tools. And it's like a cloud platform where you can work with these things through a graphical interface, not the, you can say, system interface here. So now let us talk about why we need version control here, right? So if you are a developer, if you are anything in this world, I probably can recommend to get started with version control. Since, you know, when we work on something, it may be possible we update it. And let us discuss this through, you can say, example here. So, like, when you're freelancing, right? So at that moment, you have a client and he tells you to make something, and you create it, and then he tells that he needs some updates in this and this. But after you did it, he told that I want the past one only, since this one is not looking that much great. So at that moment, most of the people don't really get these things, and they need to start with from the basic again, right? So at that moment, version control can help you a lot. Like, version control have some features, that is log changes in a searchable way as well, instead of renaming a file for each version. And collaborators can work in parallel and merge their changes automatically, instead of manipulating, you can say, manually comparing the difference between a file, right? So means you don't need to create any extra files for it. You can just go with one, and it will have the version of different types of version of it, and you can work on it. So yeah, let's get started with Git and GitHub. So first of all, you will need to create an account at GitHub. So if you are in, you can say, in school, or even if you are in something in education area, you can go to education.github.com, or else you can get started with github.com/home. So even though I would probably recommend to go with this second links, since from there you can create your account basically. So yeah, just go there and do it. And if possible, I can even share it, the link in the comments. Let it be. Even I will be sharing my slides after this session is ended. So yeah, let's now explore GitHub here. So just a second, I'll be resharing my screen once. So github.com, share screen, content, and GitHub. Yeah, yeah, Chuck, can you please reshare my screen? Yeah, great, great. So here you can see I have got a basic UI for once I log in this github.com. So here, what we'll be getting through, you can say, getting we can say we will be getting user friendly with it. So first of all, let us check some of the tabs above here. So first, we have pull request tab here. So here you can see all our when we create any pull request, we get this this tab where we will be getting all the pull requests that we have made on GitHub. And after that, same of the issues, any of the issues that we have created, it would be available here. And after that, talking about marketplace, it's something else. Like there are some apps and etc. which you can use here. And after that, you can explore GitHub through others project as well. And after that, just let me come to the main page again. Yeah. So after that, you can see we have a notification tab here where you can check all the notifications once. So just a second. If you all have any doubts in between, just you can say have note it down, and after the session is ended, we all can sort that questions out, right? So now let us see the notifications tab. So you can see currently I don't have any since I have resolved all. And after that, you can see we have a plus icon now, through which we can create a new repository, even import repository, and new gist and other things. So maybe possible if you are a beginner, you won't be able to understand these things, but I will be telling you through you can say through basics again. So basically, a repository is a place where you basically create your own project and have the all code of it, and you can even import the other repository here. And after that, we have a gist as well. After that, organization basically means we can create a team for our any of the project, and we can work on it. And new project means something like I can share it here. Your projects, you can see projects are basically in this format. So after that, we have a profile tab here where we can check our profile page. Um, Let me open it here only. Yeah, yeah. So you can see here is my profile, and after that we have repositories and many other things. And I would recommend to get started with these things to probably get more friendly with the UI of this GitHub. So yeah, that much was enough for like exploring GitHub right now. And let me just stop sharing my screen and once again share it. So yep. So it's now visible to you, all right? So give me a sec. I will just have a bit of water and we'll get back to you. Yeah. So I'm back right now. So let's get started with the main developer workflow that we you can say basically we will be talking about how to contribute in a project open source and even other stuffs here. So basically first you will need to fork someone else code. That means if you want to contribute in someone's else, we can say someone's else project, you will need to basically fork the repository, and then you will create a branch for it. The branch is a parallel version of your copy, where you will test all your own changes, and once it's done you can commit it to the main branch, that means the main project. So basically, a fork means your own copy of someone else's repository, and branch is a parallel version of the master copy of a repo. So making branch allows you to edit code without accidentally breaking a working version. So this helps you all to basically you can say experiment on your project, and once it's you think it's ready, you can directly have it into your main repository. So third is to you need to stage your changes as you go. When you are happy with them, you will need to commit them. So basically, stage means add to cohesive group or bundle of revisions. And if you want to add your code to someone else's project, you will open a pull request there. So basically, commit means a group of revisions you want to officially add to your branch, and if they approve it, they will merge your branch into their master branch. So basically, merge here means to officially add the changes from your branch into the master branch or another branch, right? So great, that's it, and that's how you work with Git. So let us try using GitHub right now. So let us you can say do it practically here. So basically I have created a, you can see, repository that is voice based pacman open source for everyone, where you all will be after this session you all will be contributing it and having getting some you can say practical experience, as well as something like even I will get some review of mine. So yep. And like first fork this repository by clicking on this icon, and note this is only necessary if you are not collaborator on the project, right? So after that you will need to create a branch. So here yeah, sorry, I was just left in between. I just rejoined. So after that, you will just need to create a branch. So you should always try to name branches with your name and what you are doing. So that means others can even understand what you have done in this branch. So basically, the conventions set by your team. And after that, open the open source for everyone.md file in that repository. Here you can see, and select the edit icon. It looks like a pencil if it's visible to you all. And after that you will need to add name. You can basically you will need to add your experiences there, and scroll to the bottom to commit the changes at the section of the branch, and you will need to add a descriptive message of what you have done in that commit, and then you can commit the changes. So at the last, you will return to the main page of your repo and select pull request to the main repository. And after that, you will be just clicking on create pull request, and it will be pulled to the, you can say, the main repository. And once the owner of the repository see this, they if they want to take in it, they will be taking it by just merging the pull request. And yeah, then ask someone else to comment on your PR, that means pull request, and comment on someone else PR too. That will give you some practical experience. And you can find other pull requests by selecting the pull request tab on the repos homepage as well. So this is what a pull request looks like for someone who has write access to a repo. The organizer of this workshop will merge pull requests that are, and your hometown will be added there. So that is me here. And when a file has multiple edits, it can be unclear to change. It could be unclear which change should be committed or not. This is a conflict and must be resolved before merging in any of the repository. So it's basically I'll be telling you a conflict resolution for it. So basically, if it can't be, you can say if it can't be merged and have some conflicts in between, it will show something like this. And let us have a resolution here. So a conflict is marked by, you can say, uh, uh, lesser than icons and new branch changes and these things. So at that moment you would be able to see a red line there. And since we have some more updates in GitHub, there are many things to see. So after that, you will just need to remove that code that is not necessary in that, and then it would work great, and you are great to have your code merged in the main repository. So amazing! Now you know how to work with GitHub in the browser, right? So basically the graphical interface. So now let us start working on it through command line on your computer as well. That is basically Git. So GitHub from the command line is basically once you start working on projects that are more complex, you might find that you prefer your own local coding environment with GitHub as well, right? So let's learn how to set that up. We will also learn how our local environment works with our repos as well. So first, let's see if you have Git already installed in it, installed in your computer. Like type the command below in the terminal, PowerShell, or any terminal application. So if you already have Git installed, you can skip the next few slides. But you can see, just type Git dash dash version, and it will show you the version and other things. And if it's not been installed, it will show an error there. So after that, if you don't have a Git installed already, you can just go to this link, that is mlhlocal.host/install git. And if you do not have Git installed, navigate to the URL above, that is this one, and select your operating system, and the installer will specifically download it. So basically, it's currently available for only Mac, Windows, Linux, and Unix, but maybe more for soon. And now open the installer and follow the instruction. It should be fine to select all the default options, and according to your like requirements, you can go on with the options as well. And then open the installer and follow the instruction. It should be fine to select all the default option except for the one below. We recommend choosing your preferred text editor in this step, since it helps you a lot as well in between of working on any project. And then restart your terminal, PowerShell, or any or even Git Bash, that is basically the command line for Git, and run the command below again. Raise your hand if this is not what you see. So basically, just enter Git dash dash version, and it should show this or any other version of it, basically the most updated one. And then great, now you have Git installed, right? So let's connect your local environment with your GitHub account. Can you just imagine, even like connecting your local files through Git to any of the online repositories that are available on the web? So this is something amazing that can help you all in likely understanding these whole tech field. And even if you are not in this techie stuffs, etc., you will once you get started with it, I can probably say that you will be in you probably will get addicted to Git and GitHub, since it's probably a best way to get started with anything in the tech as well as anything in open source, right? So after that, we will need to configure Git. So basically, we want to configure our local environment so that the correct GitHub account is associated with our commits, right? So on GitHub, find your username at the right corner side. You can say after the plus icon that I showed you, I guess, before the few slides. And after that, you will see your username there, and it would be seen as signed in as, and then your username. So just return to your command line or terminal and replace Mlh localhost with your username here. Basically, git config dash dash global user dot name, and then just include your username here. And after that, you will also need to configure your email address here. So just enter git config dash dash global user email, and then your email ID that you have signed in through. And then you can use the two commands below to double check that you have set this up. Just enter git config user.name or git config user.email, and it would show this. That basically means we have configured our account with it. So now let's cover some useful commands. And you can say we'll be talking about individual workflow here. The workflow from the command line has a few added steps compared to using GitHub as well. So you can clone any repository you have access to using git clone. Then you can create a branch with git branch name of branch, and after you make changes, you will use git add to stage your changes. So clone and stage are the stuffs that I probably included before, but if you just joined in, you can check this definition, that is clone means to copy repository to your computer. Here in Git, not in GitHub. In GitHub, you mean to copy a repository to your, you can say, to copy a others repository to work on it, but not on your computer. It would be available online, not on your computer. But in Git, it would be on computer, right? So then after that stage, once saving your changes, so they are already like ready to be added to your branch. So this was something I same to the last one as well. So you will use git commit dash m and then the commit message to add changes to your branch. And when you are ready to push your local changes to your repository on GitHub, you will just use git push. So here command explanation, dash m is a flag for message. That means that whatever comes after m is a message explaining your commit. Your commit message doesn't have any effect on your code. It's like a comment. And push basically means add the changes on your computer to your GitHub repository. Means the files that we have connected online through GitHub. And after that, you can make a pull request and have your PR merged on GitHub like before. And you can pull changes from GitHub to local to your local repository. That means here pull means bring changes from GitHub down to your local copy as well. So you might feel a little confused by committing and staging and pushing your changes. So you can say let's explore a visual representation, or you can say through a practical way here. So, through phases of Git, there are three main phases of Git. You can think of these like a work desk you are on currently if you are attending this right now. So basically, we have a working directory here where the writing happens. This is when you are coding and saving your work, and repository is yeah, let us go with this one. So here staging area is basically when you are happy with a group of changes and use git add, you are staging your changes. These all are like called commits, and they are like rough draft stored in a bundle. You can see something like this, you have stored in a stack, or even you are staging these things. And this is your main repository. So when you are happy with your commits, you commit them to the repository. These are like final drafts stored more permanently in a drawer. So here drawer is a repository, and this you can say working desk includes our, you can say, coding and saving your work area and staging area, right? So I hope it's making sense to you all. And if you get any doubts in between, just note it down, and we will have a Q&A for 15 to 20 minutes after the session as well. So make sure to note all the things and even note your doubts, and we'll be checking them all right now. So here's another visual representation of what you just saw. So I basically told you before as well that Git has three phases. So it's basically first you will add like this is our working directory, a workspace or your local machine at this third part of the pyramid, the lowest part of pyramid. And from this you can add it and stage it in your staging area. And once you are ready with your code and these all things, you can just get committed to the main repository, that is final draft or permanent draft. So great, let's try it right now, right? If you are feeling something boring, I don't guess you will feel it if you are doing it in a practical way. Since practical, like learning something in a practical manner can help you more than you learn it in a theoretical manner as well. So first of all, let us create a repo. So you can just go to your profile or even that plus icon and just click on a new repository. And after that, you can give a name to it, add a description if you want. It's optional, and if you can do it public or private according to your requirements. And you can initialize any readme.md file as well there. And after that, if you want, you can add Git Ignore file, or license, any of the license you want. So basically here Git Ignore File means that some of there are some projects where we have some, you can say, private data that can be breached out by the people if it may if it's open source. So basically through Git Ignore File we can just remove them all, like it won't be available for public and it would be only available for you, and it will just ignore it, right? And after that you can add a license of any license of that commits your requirement, and then you can just click on create repository. So if this were a code project, you would usually add a .git ignore and or a license, but you don't need to. It's optional, and click create repository. So you will be redirected to homepage for your new repository. So you can see here it's something like this, where we have got our you can see in the readme.md file we have got the name of the repository and description beneath it, and the name of the repository you can see here as well. And yeah, the further things are like something same, and even the description is available here. So click on clone or download on this button that is available here, and just you copy the link that is being provided, so that you can clone this repository on your Git. And after that just go to a terminal or git bash and just type git clone space and then enter your copied URL, and you will see the output like this, that is cloning into project name, remote, etc, etc, right? So now explore your repo. So it's important to note that you did not simply download the code. You cloned a Git repo, right? So a Git repo comes with a special folder called .git. You don't need to know a lot about this folder. Just keep in mind that it connects your local project to the project on GitHub. Means it's something necessary to have your project live on live connected on both of the end, that is Git and GitHub. And if it's not, it may breach it, if you delete the .git file, it will just the connection will be off, and basically your project will be only live for you, but not will be connected to the main GitHub repo as well. So just change the then let's make a change in the project as well. So just change directly into repo you clone by typing the command below, that is cd hello world slash. Note, if you did not name your repo hello world, you should substitute hello world with name of your repo, that is something like I told before, that is bb pacman open source for everyone, right? So you can just go with these things, and after that we are going to make some changes. You never want to commit directly to master, right? So as I included it before, branching helps us to do not break up the the main version of that project, and work on it. And once it's done, you can commit it to the main repository. So basically, master branch or main branch is something that is the main repository, and other branches are something that is not is a part of repository, but is not necessary for the repository. And even if it's deleted, there is not issue with it, right? So now open your project folder in the code editor of your choice. For example, if you have Atom installed, you can use the command below to open the project in Atom, that is atom dot. And you can do the same with others as well. But even there is VS code, and like you can enter just VS code dot, and yeah, that would work great. So after that, make any changes you want to your README and save them. So basically, this is our atom where we have just made some changes and saved it. So return to your command line and type the first command below. You should see output like this. That is, just enter git status, and you will be able to see something output like this. And it would show like modified readme.md, since we did it right now. Then the output tells us that we have modified the readme.file, and at the bottom it tells us what we have not added any changes to commit. So let's do that now, right? So type the command below, the like git add readme.md to get it ready for the commit that we are now staging it. And like if you enter git status again, you will see that now the changes made to readme dot are ready to be confirmed. That means if it's in red color, that is not ready for committing. But if it's in green, it's ready, right? So when you commit changes, you will include a commit message. So this message should be descriptive of your changes. It's also a standard practice for the first commit to be as a first commit, since it's something as a standard. And after that, you will be able to see first commit, and then how many files are changed, how many insertions of lines are there, and how many deletion of lines are there, right? So now for a cool GitHub trick, we want to push the changes that we have committed up to GitHub. Type git push. Git will tell you the correct command. Copy and paste the command to add your local branch to GitHub and commit your changes. So basically here, just you will need to enter git push, and after that it will show you the main command of it. Just copy and paste it again and just click on enter, and yeah, that's all. And after that it would be pushed into your main repository. So if you will need to, even in between, you will need to enter your GitHub username and password. So note, like when typing your password, you won't be able to see the password. It would be just type your password and click on enter, and it would verify it once, and then you can push your code to the main branch. And yeah, now you will see this output like this, something like this. So now you can create a pull request in the browser like you did before by going to URL provided, and select compare and pull request. Name your pull request appropriately, then create a pull request, but make sure to add something like a description of it. I probably recommend it so that the main owner of that repository would help you to if it's not your project, the owner of the repository would be able to understand it in just checking the pull request notification there, right? So finally, because you own the repo, you will be able to merge your own pull request, but it won't be the same for the repository that you don't own. So make sure there are some differences in between. Now you want to make sure that your local master branch matches the master branch on GitHub as well, right? So return to your terminal and type the command below, that is git checkout master, and switch to and it will show switch to branch master. So basically your branch is up to date with here it's showing that your branch is up to date with origin master. That means your the repository on your computer and on the website are both you can see updated and well originated, right? So finally pull the changes on master down to your local repo with the command below, that is git pull, so that you can just pull the changes on the master down as well. So now you should be able to see your changes in the browser as well. So just go to your main repository and you would be able to see the changes you have made. So even though maybe possible some may be not doing it right now, but I will be giving you a small homework for it, and yeah, something like this. But before that, let us have a quick recap. So Git is a version control system allowing you multiple people to collaborate. GitHub adds features to Git and provides a web interface, and command line Git lets you propose changes without the web interface, right? So before getting towards Q&A, I will just give you a specific homework. Just don't mind. It's something like you all would love to do it. So just let me reshare my screen once. Um, just a second. Yeah, I guess it's now visible to you all. Yeah. So yeah, so here you can see I have created a repository. It's basically one of my project, and I have specifically made this repository for my project and for this session as well, where you will just need to go to this open source for everyone.md file and just click on the edit icon, and then you can just work on the stuffs like adding your experiences. Like I can add it was an informative section and something like that, right? So you can do the same through even the stuffs we did through Git, and I would probably recommend to you to do this same thing through Git, but not through GitHub. And yeah, but it depends on you. If you probably like to work through GitHub, you can do so as well. But yeah, I would probably recommend to get started with Git, since if you get started with Git, I can guarantee that you would be able to understand any of the command line interfaces in you can say in just 1 or 2 days. Basically, you can say you will be able to understand the basic and the core concepts of command line interface as well. So I would probably recommend that. And after that, yeah, that's all. And you can, if you want, you can check out my this project, and if you think you can contribute in this project, it's specifically available there with the name. Yes, with the name voice based Pacman. So just you can contribute there as well. So it's up to you. If you want, you can do so. And yeah, you can just check out the license GitHub repo and slides once to contribute in it. And after that, if you want to you can say work more on GitHub and Git, you can follow me on Twitter with the same username, that is Pulkit Singh Dev, and same with all other socials. Since you can say I'm probably specifically I'm probably working on these stuffs for more than past 1 or 2 years, and it probably helped me a lot in, you can say, command line interface and working on projects, and even it made me consistent to work on these things, right? So I would probably tell you one thing, that it's addictive stuff. So be make sure of it, and then yeah, you can get started, and you can follow me on my socials to learn more about these things. And yep, now likely we are good to have our Q&A here. So yep, let me just get back to that the main event platform once. Or can we do one thing like, Chuck, if you want, you can tell me the questions that are in the chat section, and then we can go on with all the stuffs.
All right. Okay. Thank you very
Yep.
much. Thank you very much. We appreciate. It was quite an exhaustive session. I'm yet to
Yeah,
get.
it was my pleasure.
Yes, we're yet to get questions from from the chats. I guess people are still battling with following up with the presentation and with, the illustrations that you made. So we also want to all participants the question, whatever question you have, please just put it in the comment
Yeah,
section so think and go through them and explain more to us. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. So I think you explained how we can assess the development packs, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you briefed on that. So I think is for me it's quite insightful. Not being the developer myself, but I think I picked one or two things. I'm quite
Yeah,
conversant
it's basically something I got started with basic, and this can probably help anyone to get started with open source and likely contribute in any way. So that's the reason I thought of this session and just entered it in this global conference.
That's nice. That's quite interesting. Very, very. Okay, so I think you dropped your social media handles as well.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
probably if anyone has maybe when we are done digesting the whole meal that you gave us, so and we have
Yes.
questions, probably we can engage you on social media and try to find out how to navigate. I think everybody that uses every Mautic user should be interested in open source, and it's quite an interesting passion for us. So let's. I think if you have any other thing to that you want to explain to us in rounding up, you can do
Yeah,
that
so
with your.
if we have some time, I can go with one more stuff that is
Sure,
like
sure.
if you all want, I can share some of the opportunities you get when you got started with these stuff that is open source. If you want, even I can share my screen once.
Sure, definitely. We have some. We still have some like 15 minutes, so definitely you can do that.
Yeah, sure, sure. Why not? Yeah. So first of all, when you get started with these stuffs, we have one of the you can say contest on open source that is Hacktoberfest that happens each year annually on October, and it's a 1 month event where you need to contribute in projects that are hosted by Hacktoberfest, and then you will get some offers by them as well. And after that, this is a well-known program that is Google Summer of Code that majority of the people knows who are in open source, and this basically helps people to get started with open source and contribute in their dream projects, etc., etc. Right? And after that, we have one thing that is Mlh Fellowship, which I probably recommend everyone to get into and apply in it. And even you all can check out their website that is mlh.io. It's basically a platform where they provide you all with a collaboration work and community work as well as a give you experiences with hackathons, organizing, you can say consistently hackathons each, you can say each week, which is probably awesome, I guess. And they probably give you this program that is MLS Fellowship. It's of 12-week program, and you can get to learn a lot on community and open source side, and even more on the collaboration work you do in while working in a team, right? So even they have some more programs in between for you all in this fellowship program. And after that, even Google have one more contest that is Google Season of the Ops. So this is something you all can get started on documentation side on open source. So yeah, you can see here even Google tells you that you can contribute in open source even though if you are not in tech field. You can contribute in anything that helps you in probably that helps you to get started with open source. And after that, we have a program from Outreach that helps you to get started with open source and same stuff. And yeah, there are many more, and you all can just check it out. And even I recently got into one program that is Linux scholarship, and yeah, even I was the one of the top 50 winners there. So after that, there is one thing I probably would recommend everyone to check that out. That is education.github.com, that where you can see awesome and awesome stuffs that Git and GitHub provides you with. And even if you want, I can share it right now. Just give me a sec. Yeah. So it's basically for all the people who are in education field. So it's basically you can see some of the awesome features for students, teachers, schools, and etc. etc. Right. So first of all, any of the people who are above 13 can get access to GitHub Student Developer Pack. So for that, you will need to be a student in any of the college, university, or school, basically high school or secondary school. And after that, we have GitHub Campus Experts program for people who are in college and universities. And Then we have GitHub Teacher Toolbox for teachers who want to help their students to get started with open source. And basically, we also have some GitHub Campus Advisors. This is same thing for even teachers only. And then we have GitHub Classroom. That program is specifically for schools, and GitHub Campus program same for schools. So I would probably for now recommend to get started with GitHub Student Developer Pack. It's something I love a lot, and it's like if you get access to this Pro Developer Pack, and it's probably for free, you will be able to almost get something for free that amounts of 3 lakh in Indian rupees, and something near to, you can say, two or three thousand dollars or something like that. And yeah, you can see we get access to some of the cloud platform for free if you are a you can see a student. And for even we get for designs we get, there are we even get some developer tools, domains, even game development platform infrastructure, APIs, IoT, learn, and many things that can help you in your projects or anything, and even getting to learn something new, right? So I would probably recommend to check this out, that is GitHub Student Developer Pack. Even I can share this link in the chat section once. And
Just share the
if
link
possible,
with
can
me
you
so that I can share it. I can share it on chat.
um, can we do one thing? I will share it in the private chat, and you can share it in the event platform once.
Yes.
It would probably help you a lot in this getting started with open source.
Okay. So I have the education GitHub link. What about the first one, Git for Geeks, that you talked about?
Yeah, can you please repeat that?
Said I have the GitHub link. What about Gigs for Gigs? You first talked about Gigs for Gigs platform
Yeah,
before. Yes,
for
yes.
that I would probably don't recommend for sharing that link, since it's
Okay.
something like shared through a education platform. So basically, you can just search for it, and even there are some websites that provide you all these things for free. And I would probably recommend you all to get started with this developer student pack, as well as Mlh Fellowship, as taking in mind. But even there are some more programs that are provided by Mlh and GitHub Education. So yeah, make sure to check that all. And yeah, open source is something that can help you a lot in any of the field in this world.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the whole bunch of thing I bring up till now for you all. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for this session. It's quite it's not just insightful, it's also very empowering because you have shared tools that we
yeah,
can use to start acting exactly, practicing what we just learned. So
yeah,
it's quite an empowering session. Thank you very much. We are very much grateful having you today, and
yeah,
I know that people will be engaging you on social media, on your Twitter, maybe subsequently once they start having issues, running into one or two issues when they are trying to decipher or walk through what you have shared with us. Thanks so much for your session. I really appreciate this. Okay, thank you.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. It was probably my pleasure to speak here, and thank you so much for giving this opportunity to me. Then selecting someone else session, maybe possible there would be some who might get the you can say rejected for the proposals. But yeah, just keep doing, and consistency is something that can help you a lot in basically getting into any of the things. Yep,
Sure, sure, sure.
yep.
All right, all right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Uh, we will continue, I guess, our
Yeah,
sessions.
if there are some questions, we can go on with that, or else we are good to just end it up here now.
Yeah, so there are no questions from the chat as I'm still monitoring the chat. I'm not seeing any questions on the chat, so probably we can end the session. But I know that
Yeah,
people will definitely engage you subsequently. Yeah, when they have issues. Okay.
yeah, mhm.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Bye.
All right. Bye bye. All right. Thanks everyone that joined us today. It was quite an interesting session. I indulge you to go through all that we have Singh has shared with us and engage him whenever we have any issues. The materials, the tools that we've been that we have with us here. I've shared a couple of them on the chat, so you can look through them and empower yourself. It's open source for everyone. Thank you.